confirmed that an individual has been appointed as the political ombudsman. The appointment follows complaints from the opposition about its members' campaign material being damaged or removed. The change comes at a time when the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, is also actively involved in handling responsibilities related to this office, particularly in receiving complaints and addressing issues stemming from the recent local government elections. Minister Chuck emphasized that a budget allocation of $60 million for the 2024-2025 financial year, designated for activities associated with the political ombudsman, was not utilized by the ECJ. Instead, he said, it appears that expenses related to the political ombudsman's functions are being covered by the ECJ's own budget. Minister Chuck has urged the ECJ to clarify several important aspects. He requested detailed information regarding the terms of engagement for the individual now fulfilling duties as political ombudsman. Additionally, he stressed the need for public transparency by encouraging the ECJ to provide clear instructions on how citizens can reach out to this office concerning election-related matters. But the opposition spokesperson on justice, Donna Scott Motley, said in a statement that she finds the appointment perplexing and troubling. She explained that there has been no clear or transparent communication to Parliament or the public about who this individual is, what authority they possess, or how the investigative process is being conducted under this new arrangement. She called on the ECJ to immediately clarify the terms of engagement of the field officer and to publish details on how members of the public can reliably and confidently engage with this office. Angela Melville, CVM News.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang, speaking on Lead Story a short while ago, emphasized the importance of the role of the political ombudsman. He says the office has been adequately equipped to fulfill its responsibilities effectively.
Because violence is a major problem. Today it's the difference between a literally violent, almost criminal activity compared to a rude child. It's more rudeness going around now than individuals quarreling over issues, displaying, pamphlets, some paraphernalia maybe in the wrong place at the wrong time. These are issues that can be mediated fairly easily and straightforward in a situation. I think you need to have a new body set up for that.
So the decision to not change course you think is the right one? I think
it's the correct thing to do. Keep it there, the Electoral Commission, and bear in mind, if the Electoral Commission calls a candidate who refused to respond, the Electoral Commission have the ultimate right to refuse your nomination, They can dictate you're not fit to be nominated at this point.
Key lever to pull. All right.
Now, the Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP, is determined to secure a third term in Hanover Eastern, while the People's National Party, the PNP, aims to reclaim a seat that slipped from its grasp. The constituency's unique character lies in its blend of rural charm and political fervour, where voters appreciate direct interaction with their elected officials. With unpredictable shifts in voter sentiment potentially a factor, Andre Jebbison takes a look at the voting pattern of the seat in Numbers Don't Lie.
Hanover Eastern has been a battleground for the two main political parties, the People's National Party PNP and the Jamaica Labour Party. 2025 seems to be shaping up true to form. The constituency has seen several close contests over the years, with a seasoned campaigner, the PNP's Dr. D.K. Duncan, and the GLP's candidates engaging in fierce battles. In 2007, Dr. Duncan won the seat with 6,068 votes, narrowly defeating Barrington Gray of the JLP, who secured 6,058 votes, a difference of just 10. This close margin set the tone for the next two elections in the constituency. In 2011, Duncan repeated his victory, securing 6,853 votes to Paula Carr-Jarrett's 6,602, an advantage of 251 votes. When the PNP lost power in 2016, it also lost lost the seat. Dr. Duncan did not run for re-election. The mayor of Lucy, Winter McIntosh, lost to Dave Brown by 340 votes, ending his bid for a promotion from councillor. Brown managed to repeat his victory in 2020 with a more significant margin of 1,506 votes, stumping former cricketer Wavell Hines. However, the 2024 local government election showed signs that the JLP might be vulnerable as they lost all three divisions: Chester Castle, Hopewell and Sandy Bay. The results from the Sandy Bay division, a PNP stronghold, revealed the party's strength. The PNP came away with 1,636 in total votes ahead, a shift in the political landscape that the party hopes to maintain. This as the JLP tries to shore up its chances. When compared to the 2020 general election results, it's a reversal from where the JLP won 2 out of the 3 divisions. It has become clear that the PNP has gained ground. Still, the seat is unpredictable. Analyzing the average general election victory since 2007 reveals interesting trends. The average victory margin has been 4.8%, with a significant outlier in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So, excluding the 2020 election, average difference for 2007, 2011 and 2016 narrows to only 1.5%. Adding to the unpredictability, since Jamaica gained independence, the JLP and the PNP have both won Hanover Eastern 7 times. The PNP did not contest the 1980 election. Dave Brown will likely stay on in search of a third term. Andre Jebbison from the PNP will be his challenger. Andre Jebbison, CVM News.
With a new era of education policy underway, Education Minister Senator Dana Morris Dixon is dismissing claims by the opposition the recently approved Jamaica Teaching Council bill will burden teachers. The minister also rejected suggestions the bill was rushed, noting widespread consultation took place before its approval. Shantae McNeil has more on that developing story.
It's a tug-of-war between progress and pushback over the newly proposed Jamaica Teaching Council JTC bill. After 21 years of deliberation, the Senate gave the nod last Friday, passing the legislation with 38 amendments. The bill seeks to establish the JTC, which will oversee the regulation and licensing of teachers. Those not yet registered will have 2 years to get on board when the bill is enacted. Education Minister Senator Dana Morris Dixon says the bill is more than just rules. It's about restoring pride in the profession.
This bill is about treating teaching with the same prestige and standards as attorneys or other professions where standards are designated and enforced and the profession is protected against unqualified practitioners. So, you can't just get up and call yourself a teacher anymore. You have to be at a particular standard. You have to be licensed.
However, the opposition People's National Party, PNP, believes these new updates will discourage the teachers. Member of Parliament caretaker for St. James West Central, Dr. Andre Jebbison, outlined areas in the bill he's concerned about.
Section 44, the mandatory license expiry period. This is too short. Currently, it's 5 years. We have some Section 45, the unrealistic renewal window. Oh, come on, 6 months minimum. 3 months is here, but we need 6 months minimum. We have Section 46, the repeated police record requirement for our teachers.
He's calling for the licensing period to last for 10 years, for the JTC to be funded by government, and for police record renewal to be one time only. But Senator Morris Dixon insists the bill isn't a burden.
The bill very clearly says there's a 2-year moratorium. The bill says that, so I don't understand now a request for 6 months when the bill says there's a 2-year moratorium. So when the regime comes into place, when the bill comes into place, teachers have 2 years before they need to be registered. The bill also does not speak to a cost of registration. The bill says that the minister may, or the council may determine what the registration fee is. And I've already determined that that would be minimal or zero in the beginning, because you want to encourage our teachers to be a part of this.
She adds that the bill was shaped by years of consultation, this in response to claims by the opposition that the bill seemed rushed.
It's one of the most consultative bills I have seen. And I think a part of the reason it is like this is because of the strong influence of the union. The JTA was very much at the table in giving information and speaking about the bill. And they were there when I opened the debate. The JTA president was there in the Senate when I opened the debate. So there's never been any, lack of wanting to collaborate and have discussions on it.
And as the education system evolves, she says the door remains open for dialogue. Shante McNeil, CVM News.
And we'll continue with more from the post-cabinet briefing right after this.
When you talk about soca royalty, this is what you're talking about. When Bungie meet Faye and Bungie say, yes, so the book stop, Were you pregnant?
Oh, yes, I definitely was pregnant. I had her 6 days later.
Yeah. Well, Faye, man. There's an unspoken rivalry there. We even war over who for KFC, mother. Well, that is not really a war still.
Somebody take off this microphone, please. I'll cut this show off, Or you want to come and give me on a freestyle in front of the media, a big word like encyclopedia. Watch here. All right, Wayne Marshall, thank you very much.
Look at I told you, this man is not a normal human being.
The Cut, brought to you by Flow.
The people have me over here forgot underwater this morning.
Yeah, your girlfriend know what I do in my corner office.
In your corner office.
Yeah.
We're going to a marine biologist kind of that corner office. We'll be studying the environment this morning. In the boat.
Yeah.
In the boat. So tune in to the underwater corner office. You never know what you'll find out.
Hold on, this is what you're wearing, Carl?
Yeah, man.
You come bush out though.
Bush out for the boat. God is on board. Fret not.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7, continuing with further details coming out of Wednesday's post-cabinet briefing. The Education Minister, Dana Morris-Dixon, acknowledges key challenges after 60% of students targeted for the December 2024 math camps failed to attend. The minister cited low parental engagement and a lack of nutritional support as major obstacles in the level of participation. She notes while some schools had better turnout than others, the ministry learned providing meals directly impacted attendance. The camps were designed to support students sitting the CSEC and City and Guilds exams in June 2025.
That is something that we have to work on in the ministry. How do we better engage parents? It may mean going into the communities more and not just an email from school. But the good thing is that this is our first year doing these kinds of targeted interventions. That maybe if we had lunch every day, they would have more participation. And so we're going to be looking at it. And in some of the programs, we did provide lunch and we saw the numbers higher for those. So we know one lesson we've learned. Let's talk about nutrition, and the nutrition element is really big. It's really a detractor from our students coming to learn.
Now, the People's National Party, the PNP, has stamped its position on the new Jamaica Teaching Council bill, a move, it says, is rather discouraging to the teachers remaining in the island. Adrian Williams tells us more about the opposition's position.
Jamaica Teaching Council JTC bill passed by the Senate, the opposition has raised concerns about what they call its punitive nature. Teacher migration remains a hot topic amongst educators, and Shadow Minister on Education, Damian Crawford, believes this bill will only make that matter worse.
Every year, 4 to 5 of the greatest countries in the world continue to recruit our teachers, even as far as Dubai. We're losing over 1,200 teachers per year because of that capacity, that competence, and that capability.
The bill is expected to implement measures with the aim of improving compliance and standards within the profession. However, the senator is saying the bill has not gone through its due process.
So that we believe that a teachers' council is likely to be a panacea for our education system. I put it to you that even to today's date, there has not been a tabling and a debate of the transformation report.
Crawford aimed to set the record straight in what he calls misinformation about their stance.
We're not against regulation of any kind. What we're against is how the approach has been taken, seeking almost to put at the feet of our teachers the realities of the negatives that we're faced with the outcomes of education. However, many have tried to place those negatives at the feet of our teachers while ignoring the realities of our education and national systems.
MP candidate for Northwest St. Andrew, Ethne Miller Simpson, who is also an educator, made recommendations for what she calls a more teacher-friendly approach.
Mandate that all required CPD courses be free or fully subsidized for public sector teachers. 2, grant professional development credit for in-service accomplishments such as mentoring, leadership, and recognized excellence. 3, create a national CPD portal accessible both online and offline, ensuring equity for rural teachers. 4, provide a 6-month grace period after license expiry for completing CPD in cases of hardship or limited access. And number 5, introduce tangible incentives for CPD completion, such as salary increments, promotion points, or public recognition.
Now that the bill has been reviewed by the Senate, it is expected to come back to the lower and upper house of representatives before the royal assent, where the Governor General will approve it to be made law. Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News.
The polls have closed in Cayman Islands, and now Caymanians wait to see who will be declared the winner to lead the self-governing British Overseas Territory. At about noon, reports were there was a 40% voter turnout. However, as the day progressed, more of the 25,606 voters eligible to cast a ballot across 19 districts turned out. Close to 4 o'clock, there was a 64% turnout. Cayman, we were told, has enjoyed good turnout for general elections, reflected in the 73% in 2021. We can now have a quick roundup from Compass TV there in the Cayman Islands.
Tammy Suleiman with the latest from the Cayman Islands general election. It's April 30th, and voters across the country are heading to the polls to elect 19 members of parliament in what's shaping up to be one of the most competitive elections in years. For the first time, 3 political parties are officially registered and contesting, alongside a strong showing of independents. A total of 58 candidates are in the race, with key issues like overdevelopment, cost of living, and immigration dominating the campaign trail up until today. Polling stations opened at 7 a.m. and closed at 6 p.m. And now the results are starting to trickle in. So far, the voting process has gone smoothly and the turnout was good. We're waiting for the latest results from the Elections Office. This is a critical day for Cayman's democracy, and the outcome could likely shape the political landscape for years to come.
More in a moment.
So I keep earning no matter the season. I have a diversified portfolio with Sagicor Investment Sigma Global Funds. Call me savvy.
Let us help you find your ideal mix of investments today with Sigma Global Funds.
When you talk about soca royalty, this is what you're talking about. When Bungie meet Faye and Bungie say, yes, so the buck stop, you know. Were you pregnant?
Oh, yes, I definitely was pregnant. I had her 6 days later.
Yeah. Well, Faye, man. There's an unspoken rivalry there. We even war over who for KFC, mother. Well, that is not really a war still.
Somebody take off this mic, please. Or cut the show off, you know. Or you want to come and give me on a freestyle in front of the media, a big word like encyclopedia. Watch here. All right, Wayne Marshall, thank you very much.
Look at me, I told you, this man is not a normal human being.
The Cut, brought to you by Flow.
When you're investing, consistency is key. That's why I am investing in Sagicor Investments Sigma Global Funds now to get in while the markets are attractively priced. Call me Shrewd.
Let us help you find your ideal mix of investments today with Sigma Global Funds.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Today, Living the Life picks up with a response from skin, hair and healthcare specialist to the vision of a 78-year-old Jamaican-Canadian cancer survivor who, after gradually losing his sight and was declared legally blind for the past 4 years, has been told there can be a reversal.
Living the life defies time and laws.
You know, you have a gentleman who is really trusting you to, should I say, do a miracle?
Me doing the miracle? No, he will do the miracle. I'm not a miracle man. I'm not a curer. I'm not a healer. People say that. They refer to me in England as the healer of the millennium. It's not so. The body heals and it cures itself. We don't have to just look to the body. There's a mind, and it's body-mind connection. And if you're not working both as partners, say man, woman, somebody's going to go off key, and then you're going to have chaos. So it's the same thing within the human organism. It's about the understanding of the blood system. If you don't understand the blood itself, red and white, then you won't heal people for long term.
So he was very satisfied with the healing of the cancer, but now the eyes, the vision. And the hair.
According to Dr. Ted Emmanuel, after staving off cancer to be traveling back and forth from Canada, Joseph James deviated.
It's easy for someone to drift after a while. He has drifted away from the rules and principles of biological laws of nature. Okay? So, vision is an excretory thing. It's an expression of the inner. So we are seeing out to bring information in. Only diabetics get this. You see the darkness? Only diabetics get this. The correlation with the cheeks, right? You see the discoloration is extended up into the digestive area. But this is circulatory and respiratory correlation. Blood sugar not right. Okay? So the stagnation here, the extra pigmentation is not moving out on a balanced, uniform way. So I asked him to come and look for me today because I don't see people one-on-one like this anymore.
Well, you have an extra pair of eyes in your daughter.
That's true. Thank God for her. Yeah. And I am going to give Dr. Emmanuel a chance to see if he can help me again, to see again.
Living the life defies time and laws.
Well, we're now joined by Jordan Ford for a quick look at what's to come in sports. Lay it on me.
Well, Curlin, the Jamaica Titans in the West Indies Breakout League, unfortunately, are losing their second match of the tournament, slipping in the standings. So they'll have to be watched to see if they can win some more matches and get back up in the standings. Plus, we're talking UCL, UEFA Champions League, a goal fest between Barcelona and Inter Milan, and of course the Pan Am Confederation boxing president visiting Jamaica, giving Jamaica's boxing program high marks. I'll tell you more in sports.
All right, stay tuned for sports. For now, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I forgot underwater this morning.
Yeah, you're going to find out what I do in my corner office.
In your corner office.
Yeah.
We're going to a marine biologist kind of that corner office. We'll be studying the environment this morning. In the boat.
Yeah.
In the boat. So tune in to the underwater corner office. You never know what you'll find out.
Hold on, this is what you're wearing, Carlton?
Yeah, man.
You come bush out though.
Bush out for the boat. God is on board. Fret not.
From politics to global events, from social issues to breaking news, Lead Story Prime dives deeper, cuts through the noise, and uncovers the stories that shape your world. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Lead Story Prime with me, George Davis, for an hour of incisive analysis, expert interviews, and unparalleled coverage of the issues you care about. Lead Story Prime, your front row seat to the most compelling discussions. Lead Story Prime, where the truth comes first. Only on CVM TV.
In a world where innovation meets tradition, agriculture is evolving like never before. From the latest sustainable farming technologies to age-old practices passed down through generation, agriculture is
precious to me.
I love the animals. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I love working.
Join us right here on CVM TV every Sunday during news at 7 as we explore the people, the science, and the breakthroughs that are shaping the way we grow, eat, and live. You don't want to miss it. This is Farming Forward.
It's a buyer's market. That means there's potential to make money when the markets rise. That's why I'm investing in Sagicor Investment Sigma Global Funds now. Call me smart.
Let us help you find your ideal mix of investments today with Sigma Global Funds.
The doctors and nurses here at Bustamante Hospital took care of me.
At Noel Holmes Hospital, we see hope every day.
And the work of STAR is about collaborating at the community level to bring about social and economic transformation.
Together, we can invest in safer and more empowered spaces for every Jamaican to thrive. Join us.
KFC saucy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. KFC, it's finger looking good. The time by KFC is
7:30.
If you're just joining us, you're just in time for an update because, as mentioned, the polls have closed in Cayman Islands, and now Caymanans wait to see who will be declared the winner to lead the self-governing British Overseas Territory. And we're being joined by the Honourable Dwayne Seymour, PPM candidate, Bodden Town East, who is also the former Minister for Border Control and Labour. Very good evening to you, sir.
Hello, good evening to you. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. I sure hope you are doing likewise. Now, what is the stand of the vote count at this time?
Well, the polls are now closed, and they're getting ready to do the last count now. And I think at 7 o'clock they were supposed to start, but I think they were running behind a bit. And, I just want to thank the people of Bodden Town East and my part of the PPM. It has been an exciting election, and but I feel confident about about my chances in being re-elected and continuing the work that I've already started. In my constituency, we had about a 70% turnout, which is pretty much in concert with what happened last election. And, thank you all for taking the time to view the Cayman Islands and our election, our tiny little island here.
Yes. You said you're behind a bit. Any reasons why? Any indications? And when do you think the results will be known then?
Well, it was just a matter of they were actually counting at the same area that they actually voted at, so they had to set up and break down, etc.
I know you're eager to go back to, to await and see what's happening, but based on your, you observed today, you're in the high and everything. Overall, you're confident. You said you're happy with how things are turning out so far.
Definitely, it appears that my party will win most of the seats to be able to form a government very quickly. I'm excited about that. We have the momentum. And just can't wait. Like everybody else, we're eager and anticipating, to win. They're saying the polls that the increase in voters, that we should get all the results in by 12 midnight. Hopefully, some districts will actually hear their results before that time.
What are the key issues in this election? At least give us two or so. I know you really need to go back. What do you really want to hear?
Yeah. The cost of living definitely is top for everyone. And obviously housing is there. And, cost of living is actually a problem around the world. And there's no easy or quick fix. But you actually need a team that has the experience and can hit the ground running to try to solve some of these problems,
Thank you so much for your time. We'll be happy to hear the outcome tomorrow. Thank you so much, Honorable Dwayne Seymour, PPM candidate, Bowden Town East, who is also the former Minister for Border Control and Labour there in the Cayman Islands. Thank you so much, sir. Let's continue with our local news. Retired Deputy Commissioner of Police, Novelet Grant, is still active in advocating against gender-based violence. However, in this story with Adrian Williams, she highlights the matter is not in a vacuum, as many of the tendencies are garnered from an early age.
Studies have shown gender-based violence, GBV, primarily affects women and girls, a fact retired Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP Novelet Grant, proclaims to be incubated from an individual's younger days when their character was being formed.
Because by the time you're 7, you are basically set, your personality is basically formed, and you are who you are going to become to a large extent. Your mind and your knowledge, you pick up so much at that in that period of life that it is not so easy for some people to move beyond certain limitations that they may be conditioned to.
She continued by highlighting the actions of children are generally diagnosed randomly without trying to find the root cause.
As one of the things when we look at the children that young behave in a particular way, we come up with all kinds of explanation as to what is happening and say it's the child's fault. The child rude, the child not listen, the child not hear, in no manners. But we seldom try to find out what is happening in the home. How abused is that child? In terms of whether they are a direct recipient of the abuse, or are they witnessing people being abused around them? Are they being neglected? Because most of the behaviors that we see these children come out with is imitation.
With abuse not only limited to physical or emotional, the retired cop highlights what she calls the unconscious response of verbal abuse in our culture.
Child-proof our house. And we have things put down. Children we are in that curiosity stage as a human being. We're going to touch everything, interfere with everything. And we start label that natural curiosity right away as bad.
That's right.
Rude. Stop it. You're not here. Look how much me I talk to you. And then we say it in a tone of voice that the child know we're angry. And then we start the slapping. and he grew up to shouting. So that child is absorbing all of that.
She believes it is full time parents and adults on a whole wake up and realize the consequences of the behaviors they tend to reward.
One of the things that we do when we see some little kiddies imitating us and repeating some of the things that we say, we laugh and we encourage it and we think it's cute. But that is reinforcement of a behavior that is not appropriate.
Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News.
At this point, we'll tap into the social media conversation.
Let's get into what's happening online in our local social media spaces. Jamaica's Parliament has issued a memo warning staff that visible hickeys could lead to disciplinary action, including being sent home without pay. This was put into effect on April 28. Here are some of your reactions. @_Rajivef posts, it is discomforting to enter an establishment and interface with people with those marks. Your private life doesn't need to be a public display. @Jevi. Says, as usual, majoring in the minor. @Serenique_shares, I definitely agree with this. It's so unprofessional. No one needs to know what you did the night/morning before work. @Education876s comments, how you expect the birth rate to increase when you shame people for the aftermath of their encounters. @876franol adds, in most workplaces, having a hickey is generally considered unprofessional due to its potential to be distracting or create a negative image. @NGBell wonders, will they send home staffers who come to work pregnant too? I mean, love bites or a visible pregnancy are evidence of the same thing. And that's what's trending online